Anansi and the Road of Shadows. Book 2, Chapter 3, The Whispering Dunes. The moon is high, the fire is warm, and the ancient drums are calling. Welcome back to Lunar Tales TV, where the forgotten legends of Africa awaken once more. Tonight, the Road of Shadows stretches farther than ever before. As gods gather armies across the continent, young heroes journey into lands where even the sun fears to shine. Every choice they make will shape the fate of kingdoms, and every shadow hides an enemy waiting to strike. So sit back, listen closely, and let the ancestors guide your imagination. 3 days had passed since Magiro and Inna departed from Oyo. Behind them, the lush forests of the south had become a distant memory. Riding at the head of the company of moon hunters, they crossed endless golden plains that slowly surrendered to the vast northern deserts. The air grew hotter with every mile, and the wind carried whispers older than kingdoms. Captain Zahir, commander of the moon hunters, rode at the front of the caravan. His silver crescent armor bore the scars of countless battles. The north has always guarded Africa's oldest roads, he said without turning. But lately, those roads have begun guarding something else. Magiro rested his hand on the meteor-forged spear given to him by his village. What do you mean? Zahir pointed toward the dunes ahead. The shadow has reached places where even sunlight once ruled. The company pressed onward. Soon the desert became unnaturally silent. No insects crawled across the sand. Even the wind seemed afraid to speak. The moon hunters instinctively tightened their formation. One of the scouts suddenly raised his hand. Tracks. Everyone dismounted. The footprints before them were unlike those of any beast. They began, then simply vanished, as if whoever made them had dissolved into the air. Captain Zahir frowned. They're watching. Before another word could be spoken, whispers drifted across the dunes. Soft. Familiar. Magiro. He froze. It was his mother's voice. Come home. Inna heard another. The gentle voice of her grandmother. My child. Several moon hunters heard the voices of fallen comrades. Others heard their own children. Captain Zahir shouted, Do not answer them. The whispering dunes steal memories and wear them like masks. Inna immediately planted her sacred staff into the sand. Warm golden light spread across the caravan. The whispers weakened but did not disappear. Instead, the sand erupted. A monstrous serpent burst from beneath the dunes. Its scales were black crystal. Its 6 glowing eyes burned with violet fire. The shadow, sand serpent, cried one of the hunters. The beast lunged through the ranks. Moon hunters scattered. Several warriors were thrown into the air by its massive tail. Captain Zahir charged first. Twin crescent blades flashed against crystal scales. The serpent barely missed. Magiro leapt forward. His meteor spear pierced the creature's side. The wound instantly sealed. It heals, shouted a warrior. Inna raised her glowing staff. A beam of sacred light struck the serpent. Its crystal scales cracked. For the first time, the creature screamed. The light. Captain Zahir shouted. Only sacred light can stop it. Magiro understood. He waited. Inna flooded the battlefield with radiant light. Golden fire wrapped around the serpent. The healing stopped. Now, the moon hunters attacked together. Magiro sprinted across the serpent's back, leaped high into the air, and drove the meteor spear through the glowing crack in the skull. The creature released one final roar before shattering thousands of black crystal fragments that dissolved into ash. Silence returned. The victory was short-lived. Captain Zahir knelt beside the fading remains. This creature was never born of the desert. He held up one fragment before it turned to dust. It was forged. Magiro looked toward the endless northern horizon. Forged by whom? No one answered. Instead, a black falcon descended from sky. Bound to its leg was a strip of black cloth marked with a crimson spider trapped inside a circle of shadow. Captain Zahir carefully unfolded the message. His face darkened. What is it? Inna asked. He read aloud. The roads of the north have been marked. Deliver the bearer of the celestial spear alive. The emperor wishes to witness the breaking of the final seal. An uneasy silence settled over the caravan. It was the first time they had heard the title, the Shadow Emperor. Captain Zahir slowly folded the message. Our mission has changed. He looked at Magiro and Inna. You are no longer merely travelers. You are targets. Without another word, the company of moon hunters mounted their horses. The moon fortress was still days away, but somewhere beyond its ancient walls, answers awaited. Elsewhere, far to the west, beneath the sacred golden baobab of the camp, the waters of the earth began to glow. Tano stood alone with his staff raised toward the heavens. The roots of the ancient tree stretched unseen beneath rivers, lakes, and hidden springs across West Africa. Closing his eyes, Tano called into every current, every stream, every sacred river. Gods of the waters, guardians of the forests, spirits of the mountains, the shadow marches. The Council of Light calls upon you. Will you answer? Across the continent, ancient powers stirred. Some prepared for war, others turned away in fear, and some had already pledged themselves to the shadow. End of Chapter 3. The desert has spoken. The Shadow Emperor now knows Majiro's name, but the greatest battles are still to come. Join us in the next chapter, The Golden Baobab, as Tano begins his sacred mission to unite the deities of West Africa before carrying Sango's call into the kingdoms of North Africa. Will the gods answer, or will fear divide Africa before the Shadow Emperor ever arrives? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Lunar Tales TV, where African legends, gods, heroes, and forgotten kingdoms come alive beneath the moonlight. Good night, storytellers.